Ready to create a Slack workspace and connect it to your own Salesforce instance in less than 10 minutes? Hi, awesome admins. I'm Kate Lassard, lead admin evangelist on the admin relations team at Salesforce, and your host of Kate Clicks Through It, where we don't just talk Salesforce, we click through it. If you're anything like me and you learn best by doing, you're in the right place. Each episode, I'll walk you through a back-end process step by step so you can level up your Salesforce skills like a pro. Ready to dive in? Let's click through it. Slack is one of the most loved, easy-to-use productivity platforms out there. And with Slack and Agentforce working together, our lives and our users' lives get easier, more productive, and more enjoyable. With Auto Slack, setting up a new Slack instance and connecting it with your Salesforce org so that you can take advantage of Slack features such as Salesforce channels and Slack agents is easier than ever. Auto Slack removes some of the connection pain points that admins faced in the past surrounding authorization and permissions, because things like creating the workspace, setting up seamless auth, and configuring the integration user are now happening in the background. Watch how easy it is. Let's click through the Auto Slack setup process in just 3 steps. For those of you clicking along with me, you'll need to be in your production org. Since we're connecting your Salesforce instance with a new Slack workspace, this feature won't be available in a sandbox environment. But don't worry, it's very easy to manage the Slack connection, and I'll show you how to disconnect the orgs at the end of our click through. So we'll start in setup, and in the quick find box, we're going to search for guided Slack setup. This is going to get us to our simple 3 steps. Auto Slack makes it easy for every Salesforce admin to quickly create a free Slack workspace right here from setup. Before we head to start the Slack setup, I want to walk through the different resources that you have available to you right here. There are some really helpful Trailhead modules that you can go ahead and take a look at, and we have a video as well about seeing how Slack works with Salesforce. And if you keep scrolling down, you'll see that we already have the option to connect an existing Slack instance. So if you're already using Slack, this is where you would get started rather than going up to Start Slack Setup. This is what we're going to do though, and we're on the actual setup page now where you'll see we have our 3-step checklist. Again, there are some additional resources here on the right-hand side, including some more Trailhead modules, as well as some help articles. So great place to get some resources and some reference material. You'll see our first step is to actually create a Slack workspace. So I'll hit Get Started. It will default name your Slack workspace the same as your Salesforce org, but I am going to change that. I want this to be our Kate Clicks Through It Slack Edition workspace, and I am going to click Save. So this can take a little bit of time, but there are things happening in the background. They're creating the workspace, setting up seamless auth, and configuring an integration user to power the connection. So our first step is done. We'll scroll down. Our second step is to add Slack conversations to record pages. This gives us the ability to add the Slack Lightning component to record pages for standard or custom objects. So let's go ahead and click Add. I'm thinking that I would like to add this to our account page. We're going to have some suggested objects here, or you can add objects from the top. I'm going to click Account. And you'll see our next step here is to actually add Slack to the Lightning record pages for each object. We have our record pages listed out, so I'm going to open up our account page. I'm going to edit it. And I want to add that Slack channel component. So I'm just going to search for Slack over here. And let's just put it right over here at the top of our right-hand side of the page. So I will save and head back. Okay, let's go back to our guided Slack setup. It is in our initial tab, and I'm going to just mark that I am done with this step. Our final step is to automatically grant users access to our new Slack workspace. So a couple things that you can do. You can select users manually if you're rolling out to a small group, but it's really easy to auto-create your Slack users for all of your Salesforce users so that you can launch more broadly. And that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to click Manage, and I'm just going to auto-create and connect Slack accounts. You'll see you also have the option to use some identity management tools such as Okta, Azure, or Ping to be able to better manage your user access. I will hit save, and we are now auto-connected. One of the most important things to admins is security. So let's take a moment to talk about how Salesforce and Slack permissions work. It's actually pretty simple. The permissions and access you set up in Salesforce are respected in Slack. If a user doesn't have access to a record in Salesforce, they won't have access to that data in Slack. And just like that, Slack and Salesforce are connected with just the click of a few buttons. Easy, right? If you keep scrolling on this page, you'll see that we have a couple additional suggested steps for admins that you can try in your own org. This is going to help guide you through configuring advanced security and as well as exploring the Slack app. So let's go ahead and head to our account record page to verify that the Slack Lightning component we added appears. I'm going to open my app launcher. I'm just going to search for accounts. I'm going to open up a recently viewed. And there we have it. The component is right here on the page. And now we are able to post to a Slack channel directly from Salesforce. And on the flip side, Slack users can post to the Salesforce record as well. This reduces context and tab switching for users. So at the beginning of the demo, I mentioned that there was an easy way to disconnect. Let me show you how to do that as well. I'm going to head back to Setup, and I am going to search for Manage Slack Connection. Here is our activated connection, and if I wanted to disconnect, I just click the down arrow and click Disconnect. So this is just going to give me a little warning, making sure that I do want to disconnect my org. And if you click OK, now you don't have Salesforce and Slack connected, and you can go through the auto Slack process again. Or you can connect your existing org with that same button on the guided Slack setup page. As Salesforce admins, we want to provide the best, the most efficient experience for our users, and that means meeting them where they're at. Slack is the conversational UX that brings all of your apps together, and Auto Slack makes connecting your existing Salesforce instance with a new Slack environment as easy as a 3-step checklist. To dive deeper into Slack, head over to Trailhead, check out the Slack developers page, and read our great Slack content on the Salesforce admins blog. That's a wrap on this click-through. If it was helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what other click-throughs you'd like us to do together. Until then, keep clicking and keep learning.